What is up, everyone? Welcome into another episode of IMHO. I'm Kelcey. That's Lang across the screen from me. Lang, the college football championship just happened.
Yep.
And we are in the middle of the NFL playoffs. So you got me thinking.
About
if you
football?
If you could pick NBA players who you think would be the best playing football, we'll just go with NFL because that's the age they are.
Yeah.
Give me the first name that pops in your mind.
Well, I mean, this name isn't even on my list, but the first name that comes to mind is LeBron. I mean, in high school, he was an all-state wide receiver, broke his wrist, and stopped playing football smartly, and has had a long career in basketball. But LeBron would clearly,
he was at the top of my list.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah.
Current NBA players, one of the first people I thought of was Montrezl Harrell of the Lakers, formerly of the Clippers. He's got strength. He's clearly not afraid to mix it up in the paint. So I think he'd be like a great defensive lineman, maybe a defensive end, get to the quarterback, attack the ball, all that stuff. Montrez was one of the first names came to mind for me. What about you?
Okay, so LeBron was my first one, but since you stole that from my list, my second one was Zion.
Yeah.
And I thought, again, like I just said to you before we started, I don't know a lot about football positions.
He could be a good defensive tackle.
I said tight end.
Yeah, that too.
Okay, good. Because I feel like he's really physical and really big, but he can also move well.
I mean, also there's a history of basketball players becoming tight ends. The Indianapolis Colts, Mo Alley Cox is their starting tight end. He played basketball at VCU.
Look at that.
I think Antonio Gates used to play for basketball. So anyway, other names came to mind for me. Chris Paul would be an incredible quarterback, I think. He's a great point guard. It's sort of the same transferable skills. I also think he's athletic enough to get out of the pocket and run if he has to, all that stuff.
Okay, wait. It's funny that you say Chris Paul because I have a really weird quarterback, but I feel like it would work because he's not athletic and he's really big. But the Joker. Have you seen him make passes from 94 feet down, one-handed, and it goes exactly where you need it to go?
I could see him being a Ben Roethlisberger type of quarterback, not really mobile, but gets in the pocket, makes quick decisions, gets the ball out, finds the open guy pretty quickly. I have a coach on my list.
To play?
Yeah, because I think Steve Nash could be a kicker. Right?
Yes, he's so into soccer.
He is, and Steve and I used to, when he was a player, we used to spend a lot of time talking about which NBA players would make great soccer players. Mm-hmm. But soccer is a really transferable skill to being an NFL kicker, and I think Steve. You also age doesn't really matter. You're just no one hits you. You don't have to run. You're just kicking the ball. And Steve's also still in good shape, so I think Steve could be a great NFL kicker. You have another name?
Well, now that you said that, Pascal Siakam played soccer his entire life before switching to basketball 4 years ago. He's not on my list, but he could be a kicker. He'd be a big kicker.
Yeah.
My last one was Pat Bev, and I have him in the cornerback position as this trash talker who would probably get a lot of interceptions, probably a lot of penalties as well, but I just feel like he would make a good football player.
I have one more name too. I think this is sort of a specialist position. He probably play defensive tackle, defensive line on special teams. So the other team's kicking a field goal late in the game. You need to block that field goal. Boban.
Just the biggest
Just
man on earth.
Put him right in front of the center. They hike the ball. That man jumps, puts his arms up. I would bet he's going to be the greatest field goal blocker of all time.
Plus his hands are 12 feet long anyway.
It's like a person holding another hand above their hand. It's unbelievable. So I think Boban would be the greatest special teams specialist that maybe ever.
There we go. Those are some good. I'm going to also just shout out. This is a DeMar DeRozan. I just feel like he has a good body for receiving. I don't know. I don't really have a reason.
Tall,
I just feel like
fast,
he's
can jump.
That's all I got. Any other special shout outs?
That's it.
All right. I'm Kelcey. That's Lang. We'll see you guys next week for another edition of In My Humble Opinion.